I have a schedule now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do videos here on Monday, opinion-based. Wednesday, live show. Friday, opinion-based. That's every single week. If I'm not in your subbox, if I'm not in your notifications, look for me by typing Chris Sanders in any YouTube search page. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As you guys know, I'm doing videos here for everyone. If you have anything you want to see me make, let me know down below. Any advice you want, I'll be making videos for that. Today's video is made for Corey. He wanted to know, how do you deal with stumbling in life, but not falling down? And I want to kind of just twist that around a little bit and say, ultimately, Corey, you're going to fall. You're going to have issues. You're going to have struggles. You're going to, it's going to hurt. You know, things aren't going to be easy all the time. But the idea more than not falling down is more getting up and learning from that failure, that mistake, that problem. Because some things happen and they're completely out of your control. I know you know that more than most. But still being able to recover and grow from those situations is what's going to be the most important thing. If I can, I would like to use an example known as the Skittles may fall paradox. Now, it's not really a paradox, it just makes it sound smart. So you take a bag of Skittles, and these Skittles represent your problems. And you pour those Skittles all over the floor. Now, this is a lot of problems, right? It's a lot to deal with. But if you put in some hard work, you can get rid of your problems and pick each one up bit by bit. Sometimes you may even have friends, you may need some help, but either way, you'll get rid of your problems. Now, you may miss some. Now, some may roll under the bed, under the couch, whatever. And over time, you'll find them. But they'll be easier to deal with because you already picked up the big bulk of the problems. They'll be easier to deal with because you've forgotten about them, and over time they faded away. And while in that moment they seem big and unsurmountable, as time passes, they seem small and insignificant, even a blur at times. You have to look at your life like that. These issues or these Skittles are only big right now. You'll see that standing becomes easier, and you yourself will become better at handling your issues. I think about my divorce, and if you guys don't know that, I am 33 years old, and I got divorced several years ago. I don't remember how long ago, it's so out of my brain now, but I'm divorced. And that may sound like a very light thing. I feel like it happens almost every day now with other people, but for some people, it can completely ruin and change your life. I had to literally restructure everything I had planned and laid out for like the next 10 years of my life. Big things too. Like I am great with kids and I love kids, and I said I want to be 30 years old when I'm a father. Well, I'm 33. No kids. And I'm not able to get out here and just get somebody pregnant because that's not my thing to do. I don't want to raise a child when I'm not ready for it. But I had to change that timetable. I had to restructure everything that I wanted. I had to literally get rid of over half of my possessions because I was moving from a big giant apartment with my wife to a small tiny apartment with 3 other guys. I had to change my entire life. I had to climb up from the ashes of that issue and become something different. I went through a very severe bout with depression during that period, asking myself, am I worth loving? Can I actually ever do that again? Asking myself, can I actually even date ever again? Will anybody want me? Many of you guys know this, but I struggle hard with my self-esteem issues. I in part got married to her because I thought I was ugly. I thought that no other girl would want me, and this girl actually wants me. Well, I'm gonna latch on. I wasn't worried about really what I wanted at that point in my life. It was more about who wants me. And when I had to shed that and really deal with myself, it was one of the hardest points I've ever had to deal with in my life. And you might ask yourself, how do you do that? How do you have a great issue like that? How do you look around and see everything you thought was going to happen and know that none of it is guaranteed? Well, you live life with optimism. You live life knowing that no matter what, it can get better. And even if you haven't had this exact experience before, I heard this in church, but seriously, you've had similar experiences, even on smaller and larger scales, that tell you that eventually everything will be all right. I've had issues before where I'm like, you know what? Oh my God, this is never going to happen again. I'm never going to have this opportunity again. And then I look up and I have an opportunity again. I know right now that the situations that I cared about 10 years ago are all kind of like hazing my memory and aren't as important anymore. But in that moment, it felt like the biggest thing in the world. But you have to look at the world and the way things work, and you have to see that even if in that moment it feels like everything's dark, everything's dead, everything's gone. Wait a few months, wait even a week. It may not feel as important or as big as it did at the time. The fact that you're here now, right now, says that things get better. The fact that you're past those old situations says that things get better. You are a living, breathing, walking testament to the idea that things get better. Now, in your relative space, you may not think so. But you got to get outside your relative space and realize you have a lot of life to live, you have a lot to give, and a lot to do. Do you think that Pinky in the Brain woke up every day and was like, you know what? We failed 1,000,000 times. Nope. They said, what are we going to do tonight, Pinky? The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world. They didn't let their failures stop them. They learned from them. And they grew and they grew and they grew. And no, those 2 lab mice did not take over the world. No, they did not. But they tried. And they got closer and closer each time. If you don't know what I'm referencing, you really should go watch Animaniacs or the show Pinky in the Brain. They're both really good, for the record. But ultimately, you can't let the things that stop you actually stop you. I mean, even right now with YouTube, if I let failure or impasses stop me, I wouldn't be making videos anymore. I have 61,000 subscribers, and I'm lucky to even hit 400 views on a video. I didn't do anything wrong. A glitch affected my channel. YouTube refuses to acknowledge it. And while it is extremely discouraging, I told myself, you know what, it doesn't matter. Because while I'm being set back, while I'm being held back, while I'm being stopped, I don't need to let that be it for me. I'm looking around, I'm seeing other people in front of me, other people that are my peers and my friends, and they're killing it. They're doing it. I'm like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. There is a way. There is always a way. As long as you believe that there is always a way, your opportunities are endless. You will trip. You will fall. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. It's just human. It's just a part of life. And the more that you accept that, the easier it becomes to deal with that. I mentioned this in my dating video, but I really had to learn to expect rejection in order to get over rejection. I had to learn to know that most girls I talk to are not going to be interested. But that shouldn't stop me from trying. And eventually it works out. And eventually you become comfortable. And eventually it becomes second nature to go, oh, that didn't work out. That's fine. That's cool. Let's move on and see what else is out there. I know, Corey, you're dealing with a big situation. And to be real, I don't know what that's like. But I do know what it's like to have to restart. I do know what it's like to have to rebuild and become a better version of myself. And just know that that's just a part of it. I'm like you. I started a new job a year ago. I was walking into a new career of something I wasn't really sure I knew how to do. And I made a lot of mistakes. But the minute I was like, you know what? These mistakes don't define me, and they're not going to break me. They're going to make me stronger. So when I made those mistakes, I said, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me get better at this. And I went and learned. I went and did my own independent studies. I was open to everybody. Hey, I'm really trying to learn here. Help me out. And people reached out to me. I had a older woman in my office go, hey, you know what? You're a really good guy. I can see that you're bright. I'm going to offer you a little bit of advice. She gave me some core advice, and it changed my life. That advice was, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people. We've all been where you are. No one comes in great. Everyone has the build there. You must embody that to be able to allow yourself to grow. We as human beings are a community, and we need to treat each other as such. I hope this video helps you if you're struggling with anything, especially your stumbles, especially your struggles, especially your problems. But if you want any other advice, let me know down below, and I could make a video about it any day now. I do videos here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wednesday, I'll be back for another live stream, and Friday, I'll be back for another opinion-based video. I love your opinion on today's topic, and please watch my other videos. Thank you guys so much, and ever use teleport.